Okay. Due to real-life circumstances, we don't have infinite time to watch a bunch of movies with Steven and Amber.
We all have...
They're getting married.
Yeah,
it's a whole thing.
Yeah, we all have jobs and a lot of extracurriculars right now.
So, this is probably going to be the only pumpkin films with Steven. I might throw another one together with me and Cameron later.
And we might pull something together.
Maybe.
I think we had an idea.
Hell, we might even do something in November. Why does Halloween gotta stop after Halloween's over?
I mean, it does.
No.
Like, it does.
No. Anyway, so... You like Five Nights at Freddy's.
This is not that because they couldn't get the license.
This is not that. You may have seen the trailer for this go around the internet as one of those "can you believe it" things.
Yeah. It's like...
They actually made the Banana Splits movie.
Yeah.
As a gory horror piece. That show from the dark ages of television.
Yeah, I mean...
When Hanna-Barbera was cranking out characters like it was going out of style. The Banana Splits was a television show of 4 dudes in mascot suits doing a little variety show. Yeah. And it wasn't self-aware like the Muppets were. This was dead fucking serious kids programming.
Yeah, like, and, it's what you'd expect. The suits are, big and designed for comedy pratfalls and all that.
And they voice over. They don't actually talk. They, have someone voice over the moving suit person. And so, as you said, they wanted to make a Five Nights at Freddy's movie. The animatronics... And they had the rights to the Banana Splits.
Or they could get the rights to the Banana Splits.
Or they could get them pretty fucking cheap, I imagine.
It
is not a nostalgic property with much cachet beyond that theme song being a fucking earworm. Yeah. And it is. Tra-la-la. So...
Yeah, so the reason I picked this in the first place is because I thought that he watched it growing up like I did.
Nope.
No, he just knew the song.
Yep. Okay, so my experience was I knew of the show because of Boomerang. Yeah. And Cartoon Network keeping the idea of it alive, but I never actually saw it.
You saw the little between segments that they did.
I saw a couple of in-between segments, but the main thing I knew it for was there was a sort of bumper car chase flash game on CartoonNetwork.com that I got pretty good at. Snorky was really slow and had a really tight turning radius. The controls were weird now that I think about it, but
I mean, most of those were.
Fucking hell, those are old Cartoon Network games. Most of those are lost to time.
Yeah.
A lot of those Flash games are just gone. So, this movie is...
Yeah, so my history with it is I actually watched the show, several times, because, they would show Boomerang stuff, at,
3... Yeah, that's exactly what... I would check the listings, and I'd see, the Banana Splits are on at 3 o'clock in the morning. I ain't staying up for that.
Whereas I was regularly awake at that time.
Not for the Banana Splits.
Not for the Banana Splits. Just I happened to be awake and the Banana Splits were on.
So this movie is shockingly good.
Yeah, so I was totally expecting this to be...
Sort of a Sharknado cheap jack nothing.
A Sharknado, cheap Five Nights knockoff just because, we've already got a script, but we got to put something else over it. This, they actually, this may not have been their first choice.
This is not a good movie, but I stand by it being shockingly good because my expectations were basement level.
Yeah, they clearly... Even if this wasn't their first choice for material, they did the most with the material that they
There
could.
was clear effort on display for a lot of this.
Yeah, there's a lot of things from the show that they put in there. I mean, some things I didn't remember from the show, but it could be stuff they made up for this.
Yeah, it's sort of a double dare, obstacle course thing.
Yeah, that I don't remember being in the show, but I think that was to set up the kills later on. So.
Maybe. So, the concept is that the Banana Splits are not suit actors, but robots in suits.
Yes.
Which is ridiculous. If you've got the kind of AI android technology to do that, you don't do it for a fucking kid show.
And not only that, but, the Banana Splits, originally aired in 1968. And
the movie mentions that.
Yeah, the movie mentions that the show is old and like has been on forever. So it's basically just a universe where the Banana Splits never ended.
Yeah, they were always popular, sort of like how the Power Rangers never stopped being on television.
Yes.
Just because I'm not watching it anymore, doesn't mean Power Rangers has stopped being a popular thing.
Yeah, it went off the air once because Disney decided they didn't want to make any more,
and then they sold the rights back to Saban.
And then Saban bought it back so he could make more. But yeah, so this they put a lot of effort into this,
and a lot of it's at the script level because the actual filmmaking is just sort of mostly competent. I didn't want to say anything when we were watching it, but before they got to the movie studio, I was like, why is everything lit to hell?
Yeah.
The house was almost sitcom levels of everything's floodlit.
Right.
But then they get to the movie studio and it gets regular lighting there and greener lighting, and so horror movie lighting.
It's almost like
it was a contrast.
Well, it may have been setting up a contrast. It also may have been that they realized they were off after they shot, but they didn't have time to reshoot or something like that.
Maybe, I don't know. Okay, so the family, the mom and her new husband, although it has been 11 years, her current husband, she's got 2 kids, and one of them's it's a stepdad to one of them.
Yeah.
It's not that complicated, it just takes for fucking ever to say. Anyway, the little kid is the biggest fan of the Banana Splits, and it's his birthday, so they're going to see the Banana Splits. They've got an extra ticket, and he doesn't have any friends, so they invite this kid.
He has one friend
who can't make it.
Who's sick.
Yeah, so they invite kid he knows from school, which is not the same thing as a friend, and Zoe the kid, who ends up getting invited, knows this. But her mom is like, go.
Look, they were nice enough to invite you, you're going.
And Zoe is, for starters, an exceptionally good child actor.
Yeah.
And as written in the show, snarky and intelligent. So we really like Zoe.
Yeah.
Arthur, or Austin? Austin, the birthday kid. He's fine.
No, Austin's the older brother.
Fuck.
Harley is
the
younger kid.
Yeah. Oh yeah, let's talk about Austin. This actor is attempting to be a stoner.
Right. So he's going for that slacker stoner vibe
of the '90s, which does kind of put him a little out of touch with the existing timeline of the movie.
And he is so committed to the slacker bit that he's not even fully committed to the bit.
Yeah, it's really weird watching him sort of stumble charm his way into Paige's heart over the course of the movie. Because Paige, one of the ushers, or the pages.
Yeah, the page.
She is hot and a really good actress and way too fucking good for him. But because of story structure, she kisses him at the end. And to be fair, he's not useless. Over the course of the movie, he does stuff.
And at that point, she's unemployed, so she's kind of in a low spot.
Yeah. And, he finagled getting a backstage pass for his brother. They didn't win one, but he, talked his way into it. So, as a character, on paper, he is, a fine fella. But the way the actor's doing it is your eyes just glide over him.
Yeah.
And it's what are you doing?
Yeah, he just had he committed just a little bit more. It's weird because he, like you said, he does have these displays of competence, but when he's talking,
it's
just total until
total spaced out. It's he's half asleep.
And it's not until certain scenes later, and I don't know if maybe like.
And it's clearly a character affect.
Yeah.
Like it's not like the actor isn't doing his job. It's just that his version of the job makes the character seem half asleep.
Yeah.
So
it's weird.
It is weird. So the Banana Splits have a robo-daddy who gives them an update that insists that the show must go on.
Yeah.
And also the executive of one of the vice presidents of the studio,
vice president of programming,
has decided he hates the fucking show. It's lame, and he wants to replace it with something cool.
Oh, because he's newly promoted. So
He
he's
is newly.
throwing his weight
Yeah,
around.
he's never liked this show, and now he's got the authority to do something about it. Okay, now this executive character was another case where it wasn't working because he's supposed to be the cigar chomping, throwing his weight around, fancy suit business type.
Yeah.
He's dressed like the stoner brother.
Yeah, so he just doesn't work.
He does not have the presence. And they have him in like a big fancy leather chair on the phone, ordering people around while chomping on a cigar. And he still looks like a dude stopping at like a gas station to buy chips.
Yeah, like it just doesn't come off right.
That one, I don't even know if it's his acting or if it's just the fucking costume department just told him to act in whatever he showed up in on set that day.
Yeah, like
it's okay. So those are like the two main issues I'd say with the movie, aside from some structural stuff, which is complicated.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, the mom is fine.
Yeah.
They've got her doing a bit of an Ellen Ripley badass mom thing, and not in a subtle way.
Yeah, like it's like as soon as the switch flips, her sweater snags on something and she just takes it off.
And suddenly she's kick-ass mom. Fine, I'm not complaining. It's just not subtle. The stepdad husband.
The stepdad is cheating with his secretary,
and
like they set that up.
Bastard.
Yeah, so like when they go into the show, like they collect everyone's cell phones because no recording equipment on set.
They have an Instagram famous pair.
Yeah.
And by Instagram famous, I mean they've got like 218 followers, which isn't nothing, but they are like big fans of the show.
Yeah, and so they take one of their phones and the other one hides theirs. But the dad like does not want to give up his phone. He says, "I need it for work" a few too many times.
Yeah, he just wants to send sexy photos to his mistress. Oh, and there's the stage dad, the Hispanic stage dad, who's trying to like impress a producer with his daughter's singing. Why does he have her singing the butt song? Was it My Milkshakes or something?
I don't know.
It was a butt song that she should not have been singing.
Yeah, like it's something I didn't recognize.
I recognized it, but I don't remember it now because the scene was very short and painful and cringy.
Yeah.
And I hid my face. So that's the main cast. We've got Paige the usher. We've got some backstage people. We've got their robo-daddy. We've got the Instagram pair.
Yeah.
And again, in the casting, like, the Instagram guy, totally buy him as someone who makes a living off of YouTube and, like, talking about nostalgic shit.
Yeah, like, I definitely got that from both of them.
Yeah, like, that was nailed at casting, but the thing is, I feel like that was their casting pool for most of the cast.
Right.
And they didn't necessarily have that many roles to fill. Anyway, so the robots hear that the show is being canceled, and the show must go on, so they start murdering people to make sure the show goes on.
I guess, like...
this is one of the problems with the movie.
So throughout the course of the movie, we see the banana splits almost the entire time.
Yeah,
like
we know where they are.
Like if I had a map of the two studios they're using
and a timeline,
I could chart where each of them is throughout the course of the movie.
There's obviously some gaps, but they seem to accomplish more than should be possible in the gaps.
Yeah. So like, basically the main characters end up staying behind to meet the banana splits, and everyone else leaves with the other, Usher or Paige.
Yeah.
And then
this is a later scene twist, but
later scene twist that they murdered all the adults and
kidnapped the kids
to
make an audience.
Yeah, to make an audience in their show down in a basement. And it's like, okay,
when the hell did you find time for that?
They didn't have time. The only thing I could think of is that Carl, the robot dad, did all of that, and we just didn't see it.
There were specifically 2 moments where we felt like a scene was missing.
3, actually.
Okay, I don't remember the third one.
Well, the third one being them not having enough time to get that done.
Yeah, but that's not a missing scene. That's more of a timeline issue.
Okay.
Specifically, I'm talking about, so like, this one's kind of throwaway, but the brother and Carl wander off backstage.
No, the brother and the dad.
The dad, Carl.
No, Carl was the robot.
Fuck,
guy.
You're right. Whatever his name was. Okay, so
I don't even know his
bastard stepdad.
Yeah.
Wanders off backstage to find his phone.
Yeah.
Or a phone, which is what he said. I'm gonna go find a phone.
Yeah. So he says he's gonna check in with work, and the mom is like, "But they have your phone." He's like, "Then I'll find one."
It's like just any phone will do. Okay.
Okay. If he was legitimately checking in with work, like if he was on call or something, yes, any phone will work. But that's not what this was.
Okay, so the brother goes backstage to talk to Paige so he can get his brother backstage for his birthday.
Yes.
That goes well, and then the stepdad goes to find his phone. We don't see the scene of his stepdad finding the phone or the stepdad and the older brother meeting and coming back at the same time.
Right, so that we see them come back to the audience
at the same time. They're like, found him.
They just like, oh, I found him. And it feels like there was a scene where
the brother found the guy with a phone.
Right, in the
backstage
like the dad got into the producer's office, got his phone, and then the brother came in and found him there, and the page was like, "Hey, both of you get back to the audience."
So that was the first instance of it. Felt like there was a missing scene.
Yeah, which a scene that had been cut.
Which is weird that you can feel it.
Yeah. Now, admittedly, we didn't necessarily need to see that one.
No, that one's kind of like it only feels weird because it's like because the progression of scenes feels like that should be in there.
Right. Well, and it feels like a lot happened off screen.
But in terms of information, we need no.
Like
we got his information.
Yeah.
Now, the one that isn't clear at all is that the kids are locked in Carl's workshop.
Yeah.
And they're just kind of like trying to pick the lock. Zoe's awesome. And then Carl comes back. And he has clearly gotten his fingers torn off, bitten off by one of the robots. Like, he's bleeding.
Yeah, he's missing his first 2 fingers.
He's also clearly kind of gone a little insane. Like,
and he looks like he's been roughed up, even aside from that.
So, like, and what's happening is that he, first of all, likes his robot creations.
Yeah.
He's fond of them. And he doesn't want the show to end. And they tortured him. So he's on their side now, but he's like, can be convinced that you shouldn't be kidnapping kids.
Right.
He's just... But we don't see him get tortured by the robots into working with them.
Right.
And we don't see his fingers get lopped off. Like, that's not minor.
Yeah, like...
That's like a key fucking scene.
Yeah, because, Carl was missing for so much of this movie. That's why I'm like, okay, the way it's structured, he had to have been the one to get the rest of the audience, because he's the only one we can't account for in that time.
Maybe,
because he's missing basically from the time the show starts all the way until he comes back.
Yeah, in that scene, missing his fingers.
Yeah,
like that's a missing scene that feels like a missing scene. Like we need some information. Like, what was he doing? So the fact that we are nitpicking and examining the plot structure of this movie so thoroughly is kind of an indication that it's actually kind of well written.
Yeah, like
there's clear narrative progression beats going on.
Yeah.
And like it has the big showy kills, surprising amounts of gore.
Yeah. They do a a clever setup where the guy asks the Instagram guy asks his girlfriend, hey, your parents follow your Instagram, right? And the setting up that he's gonna propose to her,
which you called immediately.
Yeah, like immediately. Oh, he's gonna propose because
Why else would you ask that question? I guess. And then he gets chopped in half by Flegel. At the magic set.
And what he does is he grabs the girl, puts her hand on the saw, and is like making her do it.
Yeah, and it's clearly supposed to be audience participation time. Yeah. But it's an actual saw, which wouldn't have.
And the prop saw wouldn't do that much damage.
No, it wouldn't. But it's a movie where people get like torn up. Oh, and the bastard stepdad gets run over by a snork.
In the banana buggy.
In the banana buggy.
And then, he shows up later, and he's like, I got run over by a car. It's like, why are you still alive? We thought you were dead.
Like, you were one of the, 2 or 3 characters we hated and wanted to see die.
Yeah.
Standard slasher movie logic. So, yeah, there's, okay, so, the helicopter dad, who is insufferable, gets his face, flamethrowered.
Yeah.
Which it is Drooper using the
can of hand spray or whatever.
The can of hand spray and a cigar because they can't handle a lighter.
Yeah, because he can, these big old thumbs, he can't.
Yeah, so that's another example of clear thought put into it. And everything about them kidnapping kids so that they can keep doing the show. There's a bit where, they do the obstacle course, and, it's 2 adults running the obstacle course who have been tortured into doing it. It's like the dad and one of the backstage.
The producer.
The producer lady. And, her fingers have been broken, his face is still all burned up.
Yeah.
And so they're, running, but it's still, a double-dare obstacle course.
Yeah.
They're throwing actual pies. Not pies with spikes in them, not hammers, just pies. So, that's a great bit where it's the show, but it's scary because they're injured.
Right.
And the robots don't care.
Right.
The robots just want to put on a show. That's solid horror robot movie logic.
Yeah.
And it all doesn't... It's all there. All the bits of a good movie are here. One more pass at the script to even out some of the kinks.
Yeah.
Put those scenes back in, and you have a solid cheesy B movie.
Yeah, and
I was surprised how good it was.
Yeah, way more than we expected from this concept.
Now there was a scene where Snorky, and Bongo the monkey. What's his name?
Let me double check. Bingo.
Bingo. I was close. Bingo the monkey and Snorky the elephant have a punch-up.
Yeah.
Because Snorky is convinced to let the kids go because he's pure and good. Clearly done so that there can be a robot-on-robot punch-up fight. Yeah. Which, of course you want that as a part of your movie. You want that. It can't not look ridiculous.
Because again, these costumes are big, designed for comedy.
They're mascot costumes. And it's so obvious through the movie that it's just guys in suits who were told to move like robots. Yeah. And they put robot noises over their movements. But during the punch-up, it was just just change the sound effects from scary animal noises to comedy pratfall noises, and you've got a comedy scene.
Yeah. So
that was the Banana Split movie.
Yeah. It's
it was all right.
It's worth checking out.
Weirdly hard to get hold of though.
Yeah, you can rent it or buy it on Amazon. You can get it on Vudu.
But it's $6 on YouTube, and honestly, you know what? I would spend that on a DVD.
Yeah.
To try, but I don't know about spending it on Amazon.
Yeah.
To just it feels kind of cheap to be in my digital library rather than like I can show my friends, look, I got the Bananas. I have this. Isn't this wacky?
Let's see. How much does that run? I think it's like $20.
So this was not in theaters. It was premiered on Sci-Fi, and I didn't actually look up any reviews of this, but they weren't positive.
Oh, $10 for the DVD.
Hmm.
I'd pay $10 for this.
Maybe it was not bad. It was not bad. It very easily could have been.
Yeah.
Like, it very easily could have been a cheap cash-in, whatever, just make the movie.
But they actually put effort in.
Yeah, people tried.
Yeah.